Hello and welcome back to 1874. It's time for the Monday debrief as Jacob Tanswell, the Athletics Aston Villa reporter, and myself, Dan Bardell, go inside Aston Villa's 4-0 win against Bournemouth at Villa Park on Sunday. A truly tremendous afternoon, I'm sure you will all agree. This show is sponsored by Match Bingo. Head to 1874.io/matchbingo and buy bingo cards around all the football and sport that's on at the moment. They cost £2 each. If you buy 4, you get 1 free. There's plenty of games to play on the app as well. But as always, please gamble responsibly. But you help us as a channel just by signing up. So there's already been 2 pieces of content post Bournemouth out on the channel. I did a match reaction as soon as the game finished, and also there's through the turnstiles with my dad. So you may or may have not watched those pieces of content or listened to those pieces of content. If you haven't done so yet, after this, go and do it, because I'm sure you'll want to take in this win as much as I do. It was such a great day at Villa Park, Jacob. I didn't expect Villa to take apart such a good team like Bournemouth in the way they did. I'm still absolutely buzzing about it, recording at 9:30 on the Sunday night. Just what a win that was.
It was. I actually did expect Villa to win because I think the way that they play at home suits them against a Bournemouth team that are fantastic in the high pressing, but teams that have good quality in passing through the lines, like you saw with Man City last week, can expose them. And I don't think Bournemouth are at their best moment. And Antonio Iraola said it before, I said it after the game. They've lost that yard of aggression, and I felt that would ultimately be their undoing, because Villa struggle with teams that deny space and behind, deny space centrally from Morgan Rogers for these guys in midfield. If you can break the first phase of pressure, Villa would have success. What I didn't expect, though, Dan, was I did expect Villa to be able to control the game as much as I thought they would get lost in the chaos of Bournemouth, who want to turn over the ball and make it a real serendipity ping-pong type of game. Actually, obviously will come onto the penalty and everything like that, but Villa controlled a lot of the game. They didn't give up huge chances, and it was a game that I thought suited Villa more than Bournemouth, and that was the most impressive thing. And the most impressive thing because of that was the fact that they outworked and outsmarted, I think, a very good Bournemouth team.
Yeah, look, Bournemouth are a brilliant team. They've really lit up the Premier League actually over the last few years under Iraola, and I thought this is going to be a tough test for Villa today. We know we beat Manchester City at Villa Park last time out, but this is going to be a real test of where Villa are at yet again. They passed everything with flying colours and more, I would say. You mentioned the control aspect. I thought Villa did control the game. I thought there was a period in the first half where they were just absolutely exceptional. It's the best I've seen Villa play for what felt like a while, actually, just doing everything I would associate with a Villa team under Unai Emery when they're really at it. And I felt that we were at it, but we controlled it, but also just didn't let Bournemouth play at all. And you mentioned Bournemouth are the ones that, they want the turnovers, they want to press and win the ball back and get themselves into dangerous situations. Villa controlled the game and did all that stuff. Like, it was just so effective, particularly in the first half at attacking the whole end.
Yeah, the first half was brilliant, and you saw in the last game against Bournemouth in that second half that if you don't do the basics right, if you don't win your duels, then this Bournemouth team can run all over you because they're very aggressive centrally. They've got pace to burn in the forward areas. They're so direct. Clive, Semenya, Evan Nilsson, Tavernier, they've got real direct players, and I thought Villa limited the opportunities for them to run at their Pau Torres and Esri Konsa to run at them directly. They did everything they could. They actually turned the tables on them. You saw with Onana's goal, which we'll come on to. They actually started winning the ball high, picking Bournemouth's pockets, and it just looked like a team that had experience. Like, I was talking to a player last week, and they said Emery likes players that are 30 or over because they know their game and they've seen every single style. And it felt like that today. You saw like McGinn, Kamara, Buendia. These guys have seen a team like Bournemouth, and I thought they outsmarted, and they actually made Bournemouth's advantages their weaknesses, and that's a very clever way to go about it by Emery and his players.
Yeah, I can't remember if I said this to you or if I've even said this on the channel, actually, but it's interesting because obviously 2 Basque managers against each other here. Villa are almost Basque-like now, I would say, because you know how you often say it's hard to go and get players from the Basque teams because they've been there a long time. They're very committed, obviously, to the teams that they play for. Villa have got now a group that have been there together for so long under the same manager. Villa have almost got that kind of Basque element because it is a team of experienced heads of team that know each other's games inside out. Have played a lot of the teams that they face, 6, 7, 8 times under this manager now. At the start of the season, we were maybe looking at that experience as being a bit of a weakness for Villa, and we were worried about the lack of turnover within the squad. But we see so often, and we've seen it over the past couple of years as well, when that team is cooking under Unai Emery and they're really at it and they're playing at the top of their game, they're very, very difficult to stop. And it is that experience that plays into it.
Yeah, I'm not going to blow like the wind. I do think it is still an issue. I don't think they've turned over the squad as well and quickly as they should have, and ultimately probably will show in the next couple of years. So they do need to bring some freshness in there. But for the here and now, like I wrote in a piece a few weeks ago, they're here to win now. Emery focus on the now, and they showed that today. That they showed that they've still got more miles left in the tank when there was concerns at the start of the season that has this team still got the motivation? Do they need a new stimulus to get them to that next level? Or have they flatlined? It shows, especially in this period of games, City, Spurs, Bournemouth, especially, that they've actually still got it, and they can still play the hits almost.
Yeah.
What I almost was so impressive is that this is a team that I've said on here before. I've got concerns about the athleticism. I don't think they're the most energetic. All the data shows that. That's kind of giving that idea credence. So it's so impressive that, especially in that first half, they went not, I wouldn't say toe to toe, but they matched, if not bettered, Bournemouth's energy. They won the ball back. I thought the fact that Kamara didn't play on the Thursday night was showed was vindicated perfectly because he looked so full of energy. He was winning balls, he was running everywhere, so mobile, so dynamic.
McGinn as
And
well.
McGinn as well, they brought huge energy to the team. And I just thought, for a team that one of the oldest in the league, that don't really run much, the fact that they could do it for this game because it warranted and needed it, I thought was the most impressive thing.
Yeah, there's different ways of winning football matches, but I've got to admit I didn't see that way coming for Villa to win the game because, like you said, Bournemouth have got so many traits, so many physical traits, energetic traits. They're a really difficult team to play. But in all honesty, I thought Villa made light work of it. Semenyo, who's been one of the best players in the Premier League this season, I don't remember him really doing anything through the whole game. Now I'm doing this show having done 2 shows on Bournemouth already without having watched anything back, so I'm going off memory. But it felt like at a pivotal point in the game, and there was another pivotal point to come later on in the second half, Bournemouth got a free kick in a very dangerous position and made a complete mess of it. Went into the north stand. I don't even know whereabouts in the north stand, but it wasn't a pretty free kick at all. Then moments later, Villa from a really, I mean, Buendia kind of won that foul. I would say I think it was clumsy from Bournemouth to give away a free kick in that position. It wasn't really necessary because the ball's up in the air. Buendia's not really going anywhere at that point, but he's pushed over. As he stood over the ball, it was a weird feeling in the whole end because you just felt like something
Yeah.
was about to happen. It was very similar to the free kick or the position of the free kick in pre-season that he scored against Warsaw. And he's so full of confidence at the moment, Buendia. Just as soon as he stepped up, I thought, this is going to go in here. And Petrovic
Yeah.
just watched it. The technique on the free kick is absolutely mind blowing. Like it's so good. And for someone who I don't think has scored a free kick outside of the friendly for Villa or maybe even in his career, like, he just looks like someone who scored free kicks all the time.
Yeah, and you think his last shot was probably that one that went over the bar. Please go ahead. Um,
Oh yeah,
if I hadn't wrote this piece on John McGinn, which is like just a tribute to him, I would have done those 2 minutes in isolation because I think there's different ways to skin a cat, and it showed how both teams attacked really. So we go to the first bit. Pau Torres plays a really risky pass into Onana, who turns blindly. Alex Scott steals him, wins a free kick. That's Bournemouth showing that they win the ball high up. They turn the ball over high. They prey on midfielders that take a little bit too long on the ball, and therefore they created a chance straight away because they won the ball back high. They then blow it, like you say, and then yeah, they play out from the back. Villa play out from the back. Esri Konsa goes to pass to Matty Cash. Semenyo takes the throw in. Um, doesn't go very well. They obviously Villa would then get the throw in instead, and a little bit of play. Cash wins a free kick, or Villa win a free kick. Cash takes a brilliant, quick ball over the top that catches Bournemouth unaware, like Haaland did repeatedly last week. And Jimenez, who came on as a sub, and I think it's worth mentioning because Bournemouth injury at the start, I think, probably set the tone for them. They weren't they
Yeah.
weren't they weren't very good. Like I know Villa were good, but Bournemouth were bad, and that probably just disheveled them a little bit because Adam Smith, their captain, had to go off. Tyler Adams had to fill in at right back initially, but then he then went back into midfield. So it was a foul that showed is it in it that right back's inexperience, and then yeah, Villa get a free kick almost in an identical position that Bournemouth had a couple of minutes late before, and whereas that free kick lacked poise and just got smashed. This was a beautiful, sublime knuckleball technique that, yeah, Villa have a score from a direct free kick for what's his Old Trafford, December 2023. But like you, Dan, I had a good feeling that was going to go in because if you get it up over the wall, it was in, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it was a lovely, lovely free kick, and I have to keep saying fair play to Buendia because I'd written him off at the start of the season when
Can't
things
believe it.
weren't going great. I was like, this is a backward step. It's this guy a year ago couldn't get even off the bench, and we had people like Philogene playing at that point. This is a real backward step from Villa. We bought all these players, and then they're not coming on, and Buendia keeps coming on. I didn't understand it. But my God, he has put in some effort to make himself one of the first names on the team sheet. So you have to give him credit because he works so hard anyway. But end product this season, and it hasn't been there for everyone, but for him, end product has been there virtually every time he's been on the pitch. He's been a real breath of fresh air, and he deserves a lot of credit for turning it around. I mean, it was no fault of his own, obviously having a really, really bad injury, and Emery just clearly didn't fancy him this time last year. He has wanted to play for Villa, and he's doing it, and he's an important player now for this season.
It's amazing, really. He's got 3 goals in the last 5 games. He got before that, he had 3 goals in 35 games. Um, yeah, it's quite incredible, really, because you look at it, like we keep mentioning it, on deadline day in the week before, Villa were offering him to anyone that would want him, basically. He had a good pre-season. It suggested to Emery that he could form part of the plans, but given Villa's financial situation, they could ideally doing with someone leaving to free up funds, free up salary, be it those type of financial maneuverabilities almost. Fact is, he didn't go. He fought to stay. He didn't want to go in January to Leverkusen. He wanted to stay then. Fact is, he stayed through a bit of luck, through things panning out, and he took his chance. And Emery loves a player that takes their chance, that shows that they can be versatile, run their backside off, and work. And if you told me, even a month or 2 months ago, that he'd be picked to start in this game against a Bournemouth team that turn the ball over for fun, that are dogs really in terms of getting to the ball, chasing the ball, Adam Scott, these guys, Christie when he comes on, and he's not only can he cope with the demands, 'cause at some point you thought the game was too fast for him when he first came back and at the start of the season. He can now be the man in the match and thrive. His renaissance is amazing. And it's a testament to him because he's got the belief to get himself back, but a testament also to Emery, given the fact that he probably did want to. Well, we definitely know he wanted to move him on, but he wasn't so caught up and single-minded and thought, okay, he's done now, he's finished. He was open-minded enough to bring him back in, and not only bring him back in, but now trust him to be a starter. And that's the thing about Emery. I don't think he has any preconception. He has his favourites, of course, but if a player shows you something different that really resonates with him, he will change his mind. And I think that's a massive boost for Buendia.
It feels a bit like Luca Dean in some respects, a player that Emery was open to losing on at least two occasions, and never left. Still continues to picks him week in, week out because he does what Emery wants him to do, and he works his arse off for Aston Villa Football Club and to help provide the platform for Villa to win games. So it's a credit to
Yeah,
both of them, but credit to
massively.
Emery Buendia on this occasion, like top professional. You can't knock that, and for someone who would have known that he probably wasn't wanted to now. Like arguably, you pick the three off Watkins at the moment, the three that started this game, the three that have got the shirt and should probably have the shirt for the foreseeable. It's working really well. The combinations, the fact that they can all interchange and drop into different places. Well, all three of those players have played in all three of the positions off the striker now. So I think that's really important and adds to the variety of Villa's game as well. And Emi Buendia was a huge part of the second goal as well. Just never give up, constant pressing, constant winning the ball back, wins it back. The ball eventually finds its way to Onana from Morgan Rogers. The crowd are willing him to shoot. I'm sitting in the whole tent thinking, no, don't shoot. That's not what you do. and he arrows one into the bottom corner. And again, a bit of a redemption arc from him. It sounds like a show of me just admitting fault, but again, I was very critical of him in that bad run because I wanted to see more from him. But since the last international break, he started next to Kamara by and large, and it's been a brilliant partnership. And he deserves his goal as well, and has taken his chance.
Definitely, and I think, and even last podcast or podcast previously, I said that I want to see more from him in terms of contributing goals, in terms of getting to the final third. Okay, he didn't quite crash the box and get on the end of something, but he's a player that can be anything. I do think he's got such a high ceiling, but you need to see it more and more, and he can do that. He's got, most midfielders would love to be at Amadou Onana. If you ask John McGinn, I know he's unbelievable. If you said to him, you can have all Onana's physical gifts, you can have his technique, he would bite your hand off because I think Onana's got everything. He's just about consistency, decision making, and you saw almost two sides to Onana in the first half. He gets picked off the ball by Scott because he's not thinking, he's not realizing that turning blindly against this Bournemouth team is stupid. But at the same time, he can do that, and then he can run the game after that. For Onana, it's about staying fit because if he gets a run of games together, he's wonderful. And you saw actually when Villa went away to Bournemouth end of last season, he played and he
Yeah, he had a good game.
dominated that midfield too. So he can do it in any game. But it's just about just staying switched on. But he's still very young. I know he acts and is very mature for his age, but he's got a lot to learn. If he can stay fit, I think he can be a first choice starter, probably the best midfielder Villa have because he's got more physical gifts naturally, but also his technique than I think any other Villa midfielder there. But he just needs to make sure he keeps going, and as Emery always says, consistency.
Yeah, and he gave us a little tease into his end of the game celebrations when he scored that goal in front of the whole team. I will say, actually, there was a time when he was doing the celebrations and the players weren't really joining in with it. They were almost thinking, what's this guy doing? McGinn, to be fair to him, still turned around and walked away even today when he was doing it. But you could see the buy-in from the players that were like, you played a big part in today. Fair play. That was the thing before. He's coming on for like 3 minutes and doing the allies with the whole team. I was thinking, what are you doing? But fair play to him. Been brilliant in the last month or so, and he's a great character as well. And to be fair, I've criticised certain things with him, and some of that's been on the pitch in fairness and how he's played. Like, he's good to have someone who does interact with the fans because stuff like that is really important. But you're right, he had like 5 minutes where he couldn't do anything right before he scored. Giving the ball away, giving away free kicks. I was thinking, oh my God, what is he doing? And then he turns up with that finish. As I say, the crowd urged him to shoot. It's a hell of a strike. Did it take a deflection? Did it have a little nick on it?
I don't know. I don't think so.
My dad was claiming that it did.
I'll have to watch it again. But I watched it on viewing in the press box and I didn't see one.
No, I didn't think it. My dad saw a replay, and I think the replay glitched, and he thought it was a deflection. So Villa go into half-time 2-0 up, but in fairness, could have scored more. There's one that went across the goal. I can't remember if we were 1-0 up or 2-0 up at the time. Like, I couldn't believe Watkins didn't score. Like, all he had to do was just get a touch on the end of it. It's just still not happening for him. But again, I thought he had a decent game.
Didn't he?
Huh?
On Sky. He got man of the match on Sky today.
Did he? I mean, I'm Ollie Watkins' #1 fan, but I wouldn't have given him man of the match today. I thought he played well. I thought when you're 2-0 up, a centre forward like him's perfect, even if he doesn't score, because he'll just do all the things, all the dirty work that kind of keep you at 2-0 up. And in his defence as well, he won the corner that we scored the third goal off from just working hard and keeping hold of the ball and doing the right things, and that was great. Villa 2-0 up. I said to my dad at half time, it's on film. Second half, Bournemouth aren't going to be that bad again. They'll make some changes, which they did. They changed the right back. Incidentally, Bournemouth sub off a sub. No headlines anywhere about this, but when Villa do it, when it's Jadon Sancho, it's all over every media outlet in the world. But Bournemouth did exactly the same thing. Not a news story at all. Bournemouth were on top. Villa defended well, though. I thought Pau Torres were actually the better of the two centre halves today.
Yeah.
Constantine had some difficult moments. There was one he got away with in the first half where I didn't think it was a free kick at all, but he got caught dallying a couple of times today. Constantine, he's usually so consistent, so good at that. But I did think Pau Torres was the better of the two centre halves actually on Sunday. But anyway, the big moment of the game, and again, I've not seen it back. Bournemouth get given a penalty. Was it handball first? Have you seen it back?
Well,
subjective, is it?
People know me. I don't particularly like the handball rule, to be fair. I don't know what is handball anymore. I'd probably say it is handball. It's very close. It's only because Rodgers' arm just like lifts up to here, and I don't know if it's very natural.
Turned his back on it, didn't it?
Yeah, but then he jumped up and his hands up here. You could say he was just trying to get his balance, but it's quite high. So I can. Do you know what? It's not as bad as that Jamini one the other day on
Oh,
TNT when the commentators just, I don't know what they were talking about. They said it was handball because it blasted at him. Um, yeah, but I can understand it. I'm not going to protest about it. But you know what? I just knew he'd save it.
I
I
had a
just
feeling
thought
as well.
he's going to save it. As soon as the man you just had a little stuttered run, I thought he's going to save it because the life of Emery Martinez is he can be a villain for a week, but he's always a hero the next. That's what he seems to do. Um, and I just knew he wouldn't go after that Liverpool game and not do something big. So I'm not surprised at all. And it was really that point where I just felt like we'll probably link on a penalty a little bit more. It's at that point where I just felt Bournemouth's hearts broke really, and
Yeah, of course.
their spirit just went after that.
Yeah, I said that in my post match reaction that was the moment that broke them. Semenyo's been on fire. I know he hasn't a great few games in terms of output in the last few weeks, but generally has been on fire this season. I've seen him score plenty of penalties for Bournemouth. In fact, I think he's got a decent record from the spot. Martinez had made a great save before, which maybe helped from the deflection.
Oh,
That was an
what a save
unbelievable
that!
save as well.
Unbelievable.
Again, I've not seen that back, but it looked
It was
incredible on the
great.
big screen and at the time.
He honestly, he does remind you sometimes. He's just a freak as well, isn't he? That
Yeah,
Nottingham Forest got saved last year. This save, he produces saves that not many keepers in the world can do. So although we can have discussions like we did last week, say, he's lost, he made big errors in big
that's a
games, and
bad
he
error last week.
and he
Whatever,
and he and he
you can't dress it up.
yeah, no, he has, and he's still not at the level he was. But not every now and then, quite every probably 10 games, he'll produce that. It's an unbelievable save, and again, that could have been a turning point, right? Because they get a goal early
Yeah.
in the second half. What Villa typically tend to do is they'll just retreat and play on the break. Bournemouth will get their tails up, and it could look very different. So Martinez has made two big saves, and he's made two big moments in the game that have essentially broke Bournemouth.
Yeah, the penalty save as well. He's done so well with that penalty save. We know he's a penalty expert. We've all seen the saves that he's made in shootouts and the aura that he carries in a penalty shootout. Actually, hasn't made loads of saves in game for Villa in pen. Saved a few I can think of off the top of my head. But that one, he did so well with the stutter and the style of Semenyo's run up to just stay big and stand up for as long as he did. And then once he's picked the right way, one thing he's very, very good at is just getting down quickly. He got down quickly. I was a bit worried at the time that his foot wasn't going to come off the line, but he's just an expert at pens, isn't he? So I should never ever have doubted him really. But I feel he needed a moment like that this season. That's his moment of the season, isn't
Were
it?
you
Really?
singing Emery Martinez, the world's #1?
Oh, okay. I'm a Villa fan, so I'm fickle. I gave it a round. I did give
It
it a
was
round.
loud. It was as loud as it's been for a while, actually.
He didn't stick around at the end of the game, did he? I thought he'd be
No.
lapping it up. He was gone down the tunnel. I don't know what that was. Did he need
International
a
break,
week?
innit? International break, got flights to catch. A bit like Unai, isn't it? Whenever there's a international break coming up, he does very quick post match.
Really? Because I thought he's going to stay here and lap this up, and he should do because he took criticism for last week, and people are giving him criticism for the summer as well. The summer's almost forgotten now, and I did say I've had some sympathy with him in the summer for everything that happened around him, and when it turned into a bit of a circus. But yeah, big moments. That's the Martinez when he leaves Villa one day. That's the Martinez I want to be remembering. I want to remember that Martinez that in big moments came up clutch for Villa. His aura is absolutely incredible, and I think he's took a couple of little batterings internally in terms of losing the vice captaincy and what happened last week, and he'll have faced criticism. So to see him bounce back this week, strong character. We know he's strong anyway. Like just brilliant. It was a big moment, and that for me, I know Villa were 2-0 up at the time, but it was that moment when Aston Villa won that football match.
Yeah, definitely. Like we say, broke Bournemouth's hearts. They were poor first half. Started well second half. Again, like we've seen in a lot of other games that Villa have played at home recently. Other team comes out well, they score early. Villa have to hold on. So he made two big saves. Could have completely changed the game. With Emery Martinez, just a case of getting his head down, not causing issues. I'm not sure how long he'll be there, but if he keeps making those saves, and hopefully he can end on a high.
Yeah, and then Villa ring the changes, a few subs breaks, and the points this season or at the start of the season, we're worried about the depth of the squad, but Villa are bringing in some fantastic players into the game, and all you can ask when subs come on is that they make an impact, and two of them have come on and come on and scored, Jacob. All of them have played their part in the end. The Barkley header, nice header. Pleasing to see him score and receive the adulation of the crowd and his teammates. It was some big celebrations. Subs running over to him as well. That third goal sealed the game, didn't it? But a nice header from a player who I think has been a good signing for Villa. He hasn't started loads of games, but he's got this knack. He's very good coming off the bench and coming into a game and picking up the rhythm and the pace of a game. Not many subs can do that.
Yeah,
Like Barkley does it every single time.
yeah. On the Barkley, one of the reasons why Emery still likes him is because he's ready off the bench. He sees him ready off the bench, and Barkley will say it himself. He'll say, if whatever the minute manager needs me, 10th minute, 90th minute, I'm ready to do my job. I remember last year he had a stinker off the bench once, but apart from that,
there was one game, wasn't there? I can't remember when it was.
Yeah, I think it was Bournemouth actually. 2 fouls. He gave 2 fouls, and then Evan Nielsen scored.
He scored, didn't he, in that game as well? Yeah. He likes playing against Bournemouth.
He's got a great. I think only got a better record against one other team in the league, maybe Newcastle. I'll have to check that. But I think with Barkley, he's ready to come on. He's very experienced. He's got a good attitude on the pitch. Good attitude with Emery. Emery really values him. He can come on, do a job. And what you've noticed recently is when he's coming on in a 10 role.
Yeah.
And a couple of reasons for that is he scores a lot. He scores quite a lot, and his team tends to win the five-a-side games, etc.
I can imagine him as a good five-a-side player.
He likes to get forward. He likes to shoot a lot, and it's almost like reminded Unai. Like he still sees him as a 6, but he's almost like, okay, he can do a job for us, like as a 10. And given that Yuri Tillemans coming back, Onana's back, Kamara's there, Ross is not silly. Basically, he knows that if he's going to get minutes, it's probably not going to be a centre midfield because Tillemans is going to come on, or whoever the third choice is out of that. So where's this next thing? Well, and it's going to be in a number 10. So when he comes on, he does a job. When he came on, what was it, last week, 2 weeks ago, he could have got an assist for Watkins. He played that lovely
block as well. Unbelievable block.
Great block. So what he has shown, it's shown his experience. He's shown that he can come on, do a job. And it's good. I think he scored one like that last year when he came and glanced ahead of near post.
Palace at home.
Good memory, Dan.
Thanks, man.
So and he scores off the bench. So he's been good. He just needs to be available for longer now. And yeah, that third goal sealed it. That was the end. You have to be nervy after that. You could kind of relax.
Yeah, and then we got a fourth, and to be honest, we could have got a fifth as well. Marlon missed a chance just after he scored. That was felt like a presentable chance for someone with his range of finishing. He was coming from the left hand side, wasn't he? He was not Marlon coming from the right because he always shoots across the keeper and scores from that side. But he managed to. He didn't get enough curl on it, did he? But he sniffed out a goal from a Tillemans shot, didn't he? And got a goal. Marlon again, good attitude. Comes on for 10 minutes, gets a goal. Like, what a player! Scored in the week as well. Can take a penalty, unlike most of the other players that pull on a Villa shirt. What a player. Yeah,
I've heard Watkins just think, oh my God, I'm not getting any luck. They literally shoots right at me and I just deflected. But yeah, with Marlon, like you never think, even if he plays 5 or 10 minutes, you never think, I didn't see much of him today. He's always doing something, isn't he? Even if Villa aren't playing very well, they're playing really well. He always makes an impact. It's always like one moment in a game where he'll get into the box and the crowd gets up. I think, his attitude is really commendable. I would love to see him more. I'd love to see him start up front a bit more with Watkins. But if your main man's not firing, which Watkins is it now, 1 goal on 18, you've got Marlon who can come on and do a job. Great attitude and a great goal. Really. And it felt like Villa needed that type of win to really show actually the rest of the league that actually they're still a serious player. They can go and beat a great team like Bournemouth and beat them quite convincingly.
And the league table looks nice going into the international break, Jacob, doesn't it?
Massively. I was quite pleased with as well is that I know underlying stats aren't everything, and it's 5 goals in a row that were all outside the box. And what is it? 7 of the goals so far, Villa have been outside the box, and before the game, Villa were the lowest on XG. And while the underlying numbers still aren't great, and they will have to be addressed soon, because we'll have this conversation soon, Dan, where Villa are going to lose a couple of games, and I'll be there, Mr. Hindsight, and say, listen, look at the underlying numbers. This was always going to happen. That's a concern. Villa still need to create more chances, but against Bournemouth, they had the highest XG of the season. Created big chances, shots on target. They had 8 of them. So the fact is, they were creating more free flowing. Watkins got into they got Watkins into better position in that left channel. I think that was probably the most pleasing aspect from a statistic point of view, is that they're actually creating more, and they are scoring, but they just need to do it more.
Yeah, sixth in the table, Villa, joint on points with Spurs, Manchester United, Liverpool and Bournemouth, so that's all the way down to ninth. 2 points off Chelsea in third, only 4 points off City in second. It depends which way you look at it. Villa are sandwiched in between Spurs and Manchester United, so Spurs are seen as being in crisis at the moment. They're ahead of us on goal difference in fifth. Manchester United below us, their manager just got manager of the month and their player got player of the month, so we're ahead of them, who everyone feels is doing well, but behind Spurs, who everyone feels are in crisis. Probably about right, isn't it? 60. I mean, where we were after going into that first international break, if you'd told me we'd be sixth after 11 games on the same points as Spurs, who were going well at the time, I'd have snapped your hand off for that.
Yeah, I genuinely think this. If Villa can get into Europe next year, I think it will be Emery's biggest achievement. I
Yeah, with
really
all the
believe
noise
that.
in the start.
Poor squad, in terms of, no, not poor squad, but poor squad planning, poor window, all the noise, like you say. Squad that everyone else has been improving. You've kept the same players. It will be, I know it's a long way to go, but it will be a colossal achievement in terms of coaching, in terms of a dressing room spirit, and just the ability to get everything out of these players. If they can get into Europe, even at that seventh, I think that would be unbelievable. Because I don't think this is a Villa team. Even now, I know they're building to it, but the first 10, 11 league games, this wasn't the Villa team that you've seen in previous years. This was a real limping version of them. So if they could do that, it'd be unbelievable and a testament to, a genius manager, which we
It's a
know
joke.
he is. But it's shown actually something different from him. It's shown that when all the commotion was outside, and even there was a lot of doubt inside, right? And this is not in hindsight. We reported it. People were doubting it was so flat, but he's shown not only can he address the issue tactically, but he can also change the mood of a training ground and a players, and that's hard to do because most managers, when things turn, that's it. You can't get them back. Emery's got them back, and now this belief that they can get into Europe and even dream of the Champions League. So, yeah, this third season covering Villa, but I still can't get over how good he is.
Yeah, and talking to getting people back, Jacob falsely said that he wasn't going to be podcasting for a few weeks, and we've managed to get him twice after.
Well,
after
it is
games.
10 o'clock now on
Yeah, we're
Sunday,
going to go now. We're wrapping up. Don't worry about that. You still get a little bit of your evening, Jacob. Just time to tell us what you've got coming up this week on The Athletic.
I can't tell you at the moment, but yeah.
You can give us a tease, can't you? You can give us.
Um,
You've got stuff
well,
coming, but I just wanted you to say you've got
yeah,
stuff coming. Watch out for it.
I've got stuff coming. You'll see this week. It's good, and yeah, I'm very grateful that of these pieces.
Okay,
That's very vague, isn't it?
That's fine. Post match piece on Monday morning.
Yep. Captain John McGinn. It's a tribute to 301 appearances, and yeah, just what a bloke he is.
Yeah, fantastic.
That's it. If you're ever going to go clubbing with a Premier League footballer, you would want it to be John McGinn.
I don't know. I think he'd be close between him and Grealish, in fairness.
No. Grealish might lead you astray a little bit more.
That's fair.
I think, yeah, McGinn, he was, when we spoke to him last week, yeah, amazing. What a bloke.
Okay. Well, don't forget to check out Jacob's stuff on The Athletic this week when it comes out. He promises us it'll be worth a read. Right then, if you have watched this on YouTube, if you could subscribe with your post notifications on, that would be great. Give us a like and leave us a comment with your thoughts on Aston Villa 4, Bournemouth 0. Can't believe I'm saying that. What a sensational result that is for Aston Villa Football Club. If you're listening via Apple or Spotify, 5 stars, reviews, comments, as we always ask for on the channel, please. Do go back and check out the 2 other pieces of Bournemouth content. We got my 10-minute post-match reaction as I was travelling back from the game. Go and listen to or watch that. And also, we've got the video with my dad kind of vlogging the day, as we always do, through the turnstiles, mine and my dad's day at Villa Park. That's YouTube only, so go and watch that. Even if you just only ever listen to the show, go and watch that on YouTube if you fancy. And then that's it. Yeah, there'll be plenty of content through here on the week, as well. International break, but I've got a great few pieces of content lined up, so do watch out for them through the week on the channel. If you keep your eye on the socials, then you'll be able to see exactly when content has come out and I'm in negotiations with Jenna Bardell to see if she'll do another quiz for the international break. She doesn't want to do it, if I'm being honest, because she
I
had
enjoyed it.
success. She had
I enjoyed
success
it.
the first time, Jacob, so she's worried that she might ruin her reputation if she does it again. But we're going to have to get her on because it's the international break, and I need content, quite frankly. Right then, thank you very much. Always a pleasure to talk about Villa dismantling teams. So have a great week and keep your eye on the channel, as I've said. We'll end with an Up the Villa from me and an Up the Villa from Jacob Tanswell.
Up the Villa.